Insiders are saying Nissan may only have 12 to 14 months left and the company is shutting down. They're looking at 9,000 workers getting laid off globally. The CEO is even looking at taking a pay cut, and profits are forecasted to be down 70% in this year. We've also seen drastic reductions in sales, high levels of inventory, and with an aging lineup, they're looking at trimming down 25 to 20 models if they even last a year. Many problems have plagued Nissan, and competition is one of them. Obviously, we have a bunch of new vehicles here, and there aren't many vehicles on the market that you can get that are affordable these days. Kicks is one of the few vehicles, but not a lot of customers are looking for these vehicles, and the prices have gone up. Nissan Versa, lots of these available, but unfortunately that market is shrinking, and everybody knows that more people are looking for SUVs, and that's the sweet spot. On top of that, electric vehicles are this up and coming marketplace, but Nissan has none of that. Hybrid vehicles, Nissan has none of that. And that's why they're not being competitive with the likes of Toyota and Honda. Rather, they bring out vehicles like the Pathfinder, like these vehicles, the Rogue, which is rocking the CVT transmission. And we all know the quality control and the continuously variable transmission have led to allegedly reputational issues. Things are so bad, in fact, the brand is literally scaling back 25 down to 20 models and shrinking every single month. And while Nissan is coming out with their latest Armada, the Titan is going bye-bye, and this currently is the only pickup truck that you can really get your hands on. We're talking about the Nissan Frontier, but even this, with the naturally aspirated V6, it's a great offering. However, it might be just a little bit too little, too late. Things are so dire, in fact, for Nissan, allegedly the first 6 months of 2024 meant they lost 99% of their profits, largely because they can't sell these vehicles, and they've thrown all of their money at incentives to get these vehicles out the door, to get them into the customers' hands. And unfortunately, even though a lot of customers don't want them, it's these heavy incentives that have cost Nissan the bottom line. With all of these incentives going out to the dealers and to the customers, for example, 0% for 5 years, everybody knows that the banks aren't offering that, and Nissan's having to offer and dig down into their profits just to give away some of these vehicles. Clearly, not making money on their lending is yet another challenge that Nissan has had. They're not making money on the financial side, nor are they making money on the sales of their vehicles. And the annual profit forecast has dropped by 70% from $3.25 billion down to $975 million, means there's almost no money left at the end of the year. And that's the forecast. The way this market is trending right now, clearly every manufacturing is struggling. And it's not just Nissan, we've seen Volkswagen closing plants, and as well as Stellantis, they just kicked out their CEO. And a lot of manufacturers have been feeling the struggles, not just Nissan. Ford, we know they're leading the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, the leading recall king, and that is causing them a whole host of struggles. A lot of vehicles as well, for example, like the Bronco Sports, and naturally even the Broncos itself, the full-size Broncos, are now sitting on lots where they were commanding thousands, tens, $15,000 over sticker price. Now there's actually an overabundance and nobody's buying them. The worst part is the cost to manufacture a lot of electric vehicles are costing these manufacturers. Nissan's not even getting on board yet, and they haven't even felt the burn, whereas Ford is losing 6 figures on the sales of every one of their electric vehicles. We're also seeing problems with Rivian, now connected up with Volkswagen. Volkswagen's losing tens of thousands of workers and potentially closing at least 3 plants. It's clear that the entire automotive industry is in serious distress. Stellantis, yes, Carlos Tavares was just mutually agreed that he's going to get his walking papers immediately, and more surefire signs that Stellantis lost their way and they're not selling enough vehicles. Because if all was good, they wouldn't fire the top cop. And we know Stellantis has had struggles selling cars, but so has Jaguar. And Jaguar is literally all but entirely lost all of their sales capacity and had to go on a Hail Mary. And their latest marketing attempt is one which is a Hail Mary effort to try to bring an enlightenment, bring people back into the brand with some crazy new marketing. Is it enough? And even Renault, one of the primary anchor investors, pulled back and retracted 46 down to 36% investment overall in the organization of Nissan. And clearly their signs and the writing is on the wall. But that's the trick. Nissan's screaming for another anchor investment, maybe an investment or a banking firm. But word has it, this manufacturer, because they're possibly partnering up with Mitsubishi as well as Nissan on the electrification, Honda is the tried and true manufacturer that may in fact absolutely end up absorbing Nissan. And you know things are getting desperate when the CEO of the organization is looking at taking a huge pay cut. But because of the reduced sales, the reduced profit, and the lack of innovation, there's less output, and less output making to the dealers mean that about as many as 9,000 global workers look to be losing their jobs here this year, if they even make it to 2025 and beyond. 12 months, 14 months appears to be the current target right now. And if they don't get that anchor investor to support Nissan financially, the writing's on the wall and they're likely to be out of business. And with all of that said, be sure to check out that and that's all about this absolutely insane market and the cost of living crisis. Hope to see each and every one on the next one. See you real soon. Bye-bye.